What's the meaning of this?
Tad Bit Better TV.
Do you sometimes feel like life has no meaning? Well, what if I were to tell you that it does have meaning, and you were put on this earth for a very specific purpose? Well, I speak the truth, and today we are going to figure out what that purpose is. But first, hey you, it's me. I'm Trenton, and this is my YouTube channel, where every week we talk about how we are improving our lives as we strive to make the world a tad bit better one day at a time. If you want to come along for the Song Tong Hong Kong, feel free to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell. It's free, and every time you click it, my heart smiles just a little more. Best-selling author and Ramsey personality Ken Coleman wrote a book called The Proximity Principle. I had to reread it a few times because it's got a bunch of really good stuff in it. Basically, the main point is that everyone has a purpose in this life, and this is what they need to be doing in their career. God created us to work, or as Ken says in his radio show, God created us to contribute. A recent poll he cites says that over 70% of Americans say they don't like their career. He talks about a lot of the reasons for this, but the biggest reason is that most people are not using their God-given gifts. Here's the thing. God created you with very specific gifts and very specific passions. Many people are not lucky enough to know what these gifts and passions are right away. But what Ken Coleman says is if you know what they are, then you can start pursuing your purpose. He calls your purpose your sweet spot, which is the intersection of your greatest strength and your greatest passion. Basically, what you like to do most and what you're good at should be married together, and that is what you should do in your career. I know this sounds easier said than done, and I highly recommend listening to his podcast, The Ken Coleman Show, because he goes into more depth every day, taking live calls from people with this exact same problem. But for now, what I learned from this is that it's okay to acknowledge what you're good at. For so long in my life, I've kind of ignored my strengths because I thought if I say that I have them, that would be egotistical or prideful or whatever. But since I've grown a lot, I've learned that God gave me those strengths for a reason, and He wants us to figure out how to use them to serve others. That's kind of a big part of the journey in life. For me, I am really good at writing and communicating with others. So, what my goal is here is to turn this channel into my full-time gig. When I first had that idea, I thought I was crazy. And as of right now, I am crazy. Because it's going to take a lot to turn this into a full-time job. But I know I have to start somewhere. So I'm doing this while I do my regular job, and hopefully I can organically grow this channel over time. By the way, if you want to help me out with that, tell your friends about it, and get them to check it out. It helps me out a lot. The proximity principle basically states that in order to do what you want to do, you have to be around people that are doing it, in a place that it's happening. For me, I read a lot about business and finance. I'm planning that in the future, I'm going to turn this whole thing into a business. So for now, I'm reading about business and people that built businesses. That's the people that are doing what I want to do. Then I have to be in the place that it's happening. That would be YouTube, or I guess other forms of social media. I honestly have a lot to learn about building a YouTube channel, but I'm excited to be able to share the journey with you guys. It's basically like for an actor, if you want to be in movies, it's pretty hard to do that if you never audition for anything. And the obvious statement is that you might get rejected, but that's life. I have to acknowledge that I might make hundreds of these videos and people never watch them except for a few of my friends and family. And that's okay. Yes, of course I'm doing this because I want to help as many people as I can, and I would love to be able to do this for a living. But what I've learned is most important is first, I need to be obedient to God. So now, I'm finally doing this just to use my gifts to help others. And honestly, it takes a lot of the pressure off when things don't grow as fast as I want them to. So maybe this can help you guys out too. Think about the things that you're good at and what you love to do. If you're good at singing, maybe you can join the worship team at your church. You don't have to use your talents for your career. But I do think it certainly helps if we're doing something we love at work. It makes us better at it, so more marketable and more promotable. Most people that enjoy their work tend to be happier, and in result, they make more money, which of course allows us to give more generously and help more people out, ultimately making the world a tad bit better one day at a time. And that is what it's all about.
Tad Bit Better TV.
Tad Bit Better TV, where you watch some great videos. Click the left side of the screen to see what we made last week. Click the right side of the screen to see some of my faves. I'm sorry that didn't rhyme, but that's okay. Please don't hate. I'll see you next Tuesday. Goodbye. I'll see you later, alligator. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe.